Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome into the Glenview Ice Arena here in Glenview, Illinois, where this morning we have a Central States Bantam major matchup between the visiting St. Louis Knights and the host Glenview Stars. Hello, everyone. This is Eric Willowite. I will be bringing you the call today for today's Bantam major matchup between the Knights and the visiting Knights and the host Glenview Stars. Let's take a look at where both these teams are coming in right now. The Knights currently sitting in second place with 25 points. Glenview in third with 21 points. So these two teams packed in tightly here. They're trailing the first place Sabres, who have 29 points on the season. So an early morning game here from the Glenview Ice Arena. Anytime you get a team coming in from long distance, such as the Knights, they'll usually play a couple games today. So they're getting the early one in, and then they'll have a break until their next game later this afternoon. We're about 30 seconds away from face-off here. The Stars will be in their home white. And the Knights will be in their all black. In a moment, we'll get you the starting goaltenders for both teams. This is the first of 3 games we'll be broadcasting this weekend. I'll be back here tomorrow in Glenview. We'll have another Bantam game on tap for that. Let me pull that one up. That one is a Bantam Prospects game between the Falcons, Highland Park Falcons, and the host Stars. That game is at 9:50 a.m. And then a little later in the morning at 11:30 a.m., there is a Pee Wee Prospect Blue Tier 2 game between St. Jude and the host Jaguars. Brandon Januska and Aaron Schellen will have the call for that one tomorrow. I'll be on the call tomorrow with Mike Napolitano here back at Glenview. But for this morning, it's St. Louis Knights Bantam Major against the Stars Bantam Major. For the Knights, it's like 33 in goal. That's going to be Cole Grice. That's your starting goaltender for the Knights to our right. And to our left is number 50. That's Grant Johnson. So those are your two starting goaltenders. To our left for the Stars, Grant Johnson. To our right for the Knights, Cole Grice. All right. Ready to get underway here in Glenview. Glad you could hop on and join us here for the Central States Game of the Week. Games of the Week, we should say. Puck inside the Star zone. Skitters out to center. That's going to be tracked down by Goldwasser. Tried to dump it in, but there was some traffic right at the blue line. There's still some more traffic. And now it's just backhanded in by Augustus Mangelsdorf. Play along the far board. Stars trying to backhand it outside the zone. Unable to, and then a shot whistled on the net from Goldwasser, but holding on and making the save is Grant Johnson, and we'll have a face-off to the left of Johnson with 14:18 to go here in the opening period. Shot blockered aside by Johnson, goes over to the near wall. And then backhanded up ice. Out to the neutral zone. Knights trying to get it back in. Play along the near boards, and they'll shuffle it in. Tracking back for that one is Owen Lauru. Then it's thrown over to the far wall. Another keeper there. That time by Brendan O'Reilly of the Knights. Now they have it in the corner. Feed doesn't connect, gets deflected to the near wall. Acree had it, threw it down low for the Knights, and picked off by Carter Sue. Sue gets it out to center. And once again, the Knights regain possession and dump it in. Acree actually played on net by Johnson, and then he saw coming in was Grayson Lorenzen, so Johnson thought the better of it, decided to hold on for the face-off, and we'll have another draw, this time to the right of Grant Johnson, 13:22 to go in the opening period. Clock above the scoreboard just turned 8 o'clock. Good morning to everyone. Hope you have your coffee on or your breakfast or whatever you're doing this fine Saturday morning, this cold Saturday morning in the Chicago area. The old Midwest gripped in this freezing temperatures over at least the next couple days in the Chicago area. That one flipped on net, and that one steered aside by Johnson to the near wall, and then eventually comes out. But once again, the Stars are unable to get past center ice. The play has been to our right pretty much the entire first period so far, and then we have an offsides against the Knights. So we'll have a neutral zone draw just along the near wall. Knights win possession. Ulrich tried to spin around and push it forward. He lost the handle. Stars unable to capitalize on that, however. Now it's backhanded. And this time the Stars have some momentum. Backhanding in, pass made. Oh, and they're just missing connection. Were the Stars on that effort, but a good job winning the battle in the neutral zone and then eventually getting into the Knights zone. They just weren't able to get a shot on net. But they had a good look. So the first offensive opportunity for the Stars. Now they keep it in the zone. Behind the net goes Ulrich. Loses the handle, and then tracking that one down is Klaus. Stars looking to keep it in. It's right at the blue line there, and still in the neutral zone. Backhanded in the zone by Sterner. And then out to center. Cross ice pass. Here come the Knights in the zone. Shot! And that one whistles wide of Johnson over to the near wall. Goldwasser just dumps it down low, kind of a neighborhood pass. Sterner had it for a moment for the Stars. And now the Stars get it into the offensive zone. Battle there with Luciano Martini. Down low. Think of Mike Clanton. Stars inside their own zone. There's pressure along the wall, and they're able to keep it in. Clanton, with that long reach, was able to gather that puck, but then the Stars eventually were able to recover. Stars trying to get it out to center. They will. Inside the Knight zone, kept in at the near point. Firing a shot on net and making a save. First time we're calling the name for Cole Grice during the game as he tries to clear some traffic out of the way. And now losing his stick was Caleb Alexander for the Stars. He's able to retrieve it. Let the Knights get it outside the zone. That's going to be short of icing. That's going to have to be played by Glenview. Alexander tried to get it out, unable to. Knights in on the forecheck. And then pushed out to center. Little contact there. And then dumped back in by Clayton Herweek. Now shifted over to the far wall. Trying to go after that one was Patrick Burns. He kind of let the Knights player, however, beat him to the puck. He didn't want to venture too far away from his goaltender there, so he kind of conceded the puck on that position, that particular sequence. And the Knights keep it inside the zone. Deflected to the near wall, and Knights are going to have to take it outside the zone and replay, but it's stolen away by the Stars. Poke check. Then it goes behind the net. Puck thrown down and paddled away there by Grice. Stars dump it back in, but not too deep, as in on the play was Gabe Ulrich. And now Ulrich again inside his own zone, and we get a whistle. It'll be a face-off inside the Glenview zone. This one will go to the right of Cole Grice. Goldwasser tries to flip it outside the zone. That's kept in, however, by Carter Sue. Oh, puck is loose. Backhand attempt. That's Goldwasser got a stick on that. Otherwise, and now the net is off the moorings there as it was knocked off the right mooring. As it was angled, they had play continue for a little bit, and then they just whistled that down. 8:21 to go here in the opening frame. No score between the visiting St. Louis Knights and the Glenview Stars here on the Central States Game of the Week. Play out front. Stars trying to shovel that one on net. I don't think it ever got there, but now over to the near point. Kept in and then dumped down low. Backhand attempt trying to clear by the Knights, and they'll get it out to center. Lorenzen just shovels it over to the far corner, and then he'll chase. Now it's stuck behind the net. Stars along the near board trying to get it out. Kept in. Doing a good job there is Stanzi, John Stanzi. Puck thrown on that, guided behind. Stars kept in by Callards. Klausy, sorry. It was Klausy with the keep. Stars behind their net. Backhand to the near board. Knights intercept the pass, but then knocked off the puck there was Cole Molesky. Stars have numbers inside their own zone, but the pass does not connect. As they were trying to get that one to the feet of Luciano Martini. The puck inside the Knights zone, they'll carry it out. Here is Bradley Chen. Chen threw it towards the net. Stars trying to clear. Knights with the keep. And it's dumped down low. Played by LaRue. Oh, right between the circles, but unable to handle that hot pass was Clayton Howarwick. Now the Stars go the other way. Backhand attempt, that's shoveled wide. It goes over to the far corner. Stars keep it in, continuing the pressure. This is a good opportunity here for the Stars, but the Knights are able to clear. Not deep enough for icing. The Stars will regain possession inside their own zone. Cross-ice pass. Oh, fanning on it was Carter Sue. Now it's kept in. Good stick handling there. But the pass attempt was awry, and Glenview picks it off. It's a 2-on-2. And then it's just backhanded down low by Ian Burns. Knights get it outside the zone. They'll go the other way. Clayton Howarwick. Stick handling along the near board and rings it below the goal. Oh, good keep in there. Nice job by Liam Klaus to keep it in, but puck eventually goes into the bench area. So we're going to have a face-off inside the Star zone. This will be to the left. Goaltender Grant Johnson. Shots on goal, unofficial 5-2 in favor of the Knights. Grant Johnson has faced the majority of the pressure, although nothing really grade A that I would say. He's just faced a little more rubber than his counterpart to the right, Cole Grice, but even though the Knights have had the better possession, they really haven't had any grade A opportunities on goaltender Grant Johnson. As we're ticking around 5 minutes remaining here in the first period. And it's going to be an offsides call against the Stars with 4:55 to go in period one. No score between the Knights and the Stars. Face-off outside the zone. It'll be Henry Hafner for the Stars. He'll be squared up there against Grayson Lorenzen. Stars have possession. Turch gets it inside. And that is Rajan Shaw who had it for a moment. And it's out to center. Cross-ice pass. Burns misses connection. Klaus will push it outside the zone. And the Stars dump it in. Or the Knights dump it in. Knights still with possession. Oh, good work using his body to leverage Augustus Mangelsdorf. Keeping that puck in net. And then a shot from the near point from Ulrich. And that was a great save there by Johnson with traffic. Someone in front looking for a tip attempt. Now Lorenzen will dump it into the near corner. Ulrich will come down from his defensive spot and play the puck. Mangelsdorf will move up to the point. Now Lorenzen. Lorenzen rings it around to the far wall. Klaus pinches in for the keeper. Oh, and then that one does come outside the zone. Trying to sneak it back in was Mangelsdorf, but the referees caught that one. That'll be an offsides against the Knights with 3:44 to go in period number one. Face off in the neutral zone along the far wall, just outside the Stars zone. That was Martini on the draw for the Stars. Knights take possession, and they'll throw it in. That was short of center, though, so well, they're going to say that was deflected, I guess. Shot on net, save made by Johnson. That was a tough angle shot, but he was able to stop it. Wasn't sure where it was for a moment there, but then was able to cover up. So Knights were able to get a good offensive opportunity off that draw. And now a face-off to the left of Grant Johnson. Spinning around in the face-off circle, thrown out to the neutral zone, the Stars. Knights trying to get it back in. It's Chen. Chen backhands it, but he had two players still inside the zone, so that'll be an offsides call against the Knights. 3:18 remaining in period number 1. Shots now 7-2 in favor of St. Louis. Neutral zone face-off. Herwick and Martini for the Stars. Herwick and the Knights win possession, then he'll throw it into the far corner. There's Chen. Chen. Shot on net there from Will Goldwasser. Then it's thrown into Knights territory, but that'll be an icing call against the Stars with 2:52 remaining. I'll face off to the left of Grant Johnson. Knights keep it in. Herwick behind the net. He's getting pushed off the puck there by Ian Burns. But then Goldwasser pinches in from the far point, shot on net, and that's sticked away by Johnson. Now between the circles, Stars get possession. Warwick inside the zone. He's going to ring it up to the near point. Shot fired from LaRue. Then he'll have to track it down inside his own zone. LaRue behind his own net, up along the near boards. Missing connection just outside of the reach of Burns. We have a stick on the ice there. Not sure if that's the Knights or the Stars right in the neutral zone. And the puck just hit the stick. Players jumping over it. Now the official will pick it up. I'll hand it over. I'll hold on to it. He's not sure who has it. Here come the Knights outside the zone. Inside Stars territory. Backhand attempt. That one is knocked down by Johnson. Kept in at the near point, or far point. And then backhanded out to center. Here's Shaw. Shaw cross ice pass. And get that one over to Hafner. Hafner leaves it at the far wall. Shot towards the net. Never gets on Grice. And then Grice that time paddles it over to the far wall where it's going to be picked up by Ulrich, Gabe Ulrich. Now Lorenzen pokes it down low. Stars get there first. Out to center. Martini overskated it. He had to slow down. And then it's dumped in by the Stars. 33 seconds remaining here in the opening period. No score between the Knights and the Stars. Here's Martini. That one, Grice got a stick on it, just kind of pushed it forward. Now the Knights exit the zone. Here's Ulrich, Gabe Ulrich. Fires it on net, glove save made, rebound was loose. And getting a piece of it. Now the Stars go the other way. Shot save made by Grice. Puck is loose, and then he is able to hold on. Boy, final 33 seconds here. We had grade 8 chances on each end. Johnson making a big save, and then the rebound came out, but the Knights weren't able to capitalize. And then on the other end, the Stars came down, had a shot on net that Cole Grice had to make a big save. Face off to his right with 4.1 seconds remaining here in the opening period, and then the draw comes out the center, and that'll do it for period number 1. Unofficial shots on goal totals 11-5 in favor of the Knights. We'll take an audio break. This is the Central States Game of the Week here on Stream Sports Midwest. Back here at the Glenview Community Ice Center, getting ready for period 2 between the Stars and the Knights. No score. Knights had the better possession in that first period, but each team had some really good opportunities later on as that period progressed. And in that final 30 seconds, each team had one grade A chance on each goaltender. And the goaltenders and the teams changed sides. So now you have Grant Johnson to our right and Cole Grice to our left. That puck thrown behind the net. Centering attempt. Oh, that one never got through. Big chance there for Tommy Clanton. Then that puck thrown on to Cole Grice over on the near side here. Klaus behind his net. He'll backhand it up to Gates along the near wall. Gets it out to center. And a slow skate inside the zone by Mengelsdorf. Up along the near wall. On net, Johnson paddles it over to the near corner. Taken by the Knights. Centering attempt. Oh, a stuff attempt there. Puck is loose. Backhander. And it got a man in the crease, and they finally score. I think there would have been a penalty, I think, with the player in the crease, but doesn't matter as eventually the Knights were able to capitalize. And that was Mangelsdorf. So Mangelsdorf gets the goal. And it's a 1-0 lead for the Knights. So Mangelsdorf gets the first goal of this game here in the second period. And we're back underway. You kind of felt it was just a matter of time before the Knights would put one in the net, and that time with a scramble. Johnson had made a good save on the initial attempt, but wasn't able to corral the loose puck. He tried a few times desperately, but there was so much traffic in the net. And then one of the Stars' defenders actually made a save in the net, juggling it with his gloves. And then unable to corral it, puck dropped down, and Mangelsdorf was able to put it past Johnson to give the Knights the 1-0 lead here with 13:29 to go here in the second period. Shots now 15-7 in favor of the Knights. LaRue tries to get it outside the zone. He does. Inside the zone are the Stars. Unable to advance it on net, however, and the Knights go the other way. Chen along the near wall. 4-player battle for the puck. Chen still battling. And then he backhands it over to the far wall. Stars will get there first, but good job keeping it in was Clayton Herwick. Now the Stars come up ice. But good pressure by Chen at the neutral zone. Interrupted that flow. Shot on net. That's guided aside there by Cole Grice. Now between the circles, it goes over to the far corner. Getting there first will be Brendan O'Reilly. O'Reilly tries to clear, and now Chen. Chen loses the handle. Here come the Stars trying to get the equalizer, but then it's swept away at the last moment. Nice defensive play there by Owen Acree. And then it's thrown down for an icing call against the Knights. So Stars will get an offensive zone draw here to the right of Cole Grice. Trailing 1-0. Knights take possession of the draw, trying to tip it out to center, but unable to were the Knights as Isaiah Bernstein with the keeper. at the far point. Another attempt to get it out at the far point, and Bernstein taps it to Sterner. Sterner tries to get a shot, but Acree got in front of that one. Sorry, that was Klaus. Oh, Tapper! But Grice was ready for it. Now from the near wall, that one would have went wide of net, but not taking any chances was Cole Grice on that shot from Grant Radel, so he'll hold on for the faceoff. This will be again to the right of Cole Grice with 11:33 to go in the opening period. 1-0 lead for St. Louis. Martini on the draw, going up against Tommy Clanton. Stars win possession behind the net. Keep in at right at the blue line. Knights gain possession, however, it's Mangelsdorf, the lone goal scorer in the game. Cross-ice pass to Clanton. He loses possession. The Stars will go behind their net. That is Radel. Radel trying to get it out. Kept in, however, at the far point. Here's Clanton. Clanton's shot, and getting a stick on that one and deflecting it into the net was Isaiah Bernstein on that shot from the Knights. So this will be an offensive zone draw now for St. Louis. To the left of Grant Johnson. Clanton will take it for the Knights. And it was Burns for the Stars. Stars won the draw, but then they ice it. So we'll do it again all the way over to our right. Clanton and Burns once more. Burns wins the draw. It goes over to the near point, and Goldwasser trying to get it down low. He was unable to. The Stars go the other way. Trying to flip it towards the net was Waldeck, Parker Waldeck, but he was unsuccessful. Puck comes out to the neutral zone. Waldeck missed the connection there. Stars gain possession, tipped inside the Knight zone. And Goldwasser will throw it out. Going after it is Bates. Behind the net. Oh, nice pass, backhand pass, and then it's shoveled in. That might have been an own goal. We're going to give that to Tommy Clanton, so Clanton gets the goal. And now it's a 2-0 lead for the visiting Knights, with Clanton getting the goal. So a pair of second period goals here for St. Louis. They jump out to a 2-0 lead, just over 10 minutes remaining in period two. Shots on goal 16-9 in favor of St. Louis. Tommy Clanton getting the goal. Tough angle one. And now the Knights have another opportunity. Ulrich fires it. That one goes wide right. Stars trying to get it outside the zone. Unable to at the moment. And then it's eventually shoveled out to center. Ulrich will backtrack for the Knights and push it into the neutral zone. Now Ulrich again. Just feathers it out off the boards. Gets it to Chen. Herwick was well off sides, and the officials called it. Yeah, Chen was going left to right, and Herwick right to left, and Herwick got in ahead of the play, as it's always tough when your player isn't going straight in. He went diagonally, and they weren't able to sync up there, so an offsides call against the Knights. Neutral zone draw. .9:19 here left in period two. Central State's Bantam Major Hockey here on Stream Sports Midwest. Oh, that puck came out to Johnson. He had to play that one. Came off the boards. And a push behind. Knights maintain possession, and no, we're going to get a roughing call against Glenview. So heading to the box, that's Lauru. He gets roughing here with exactly 9 minutes to go in period number 2. Power play opportunity for the Knights. They've scored a pair of goals here in the second after a scoreless first period between both teams. So the face-off to the left of Grant Johnson. Puck is tied up. Stars had possession, but then a shot on net off the draw. As gathering up the loose puck was Eric Levinson after the face-off, tying up his man, and he was eventually able to circle around, get a shot on net. Johnson able to make the save and hold on. Up to the near wall. Stars trying to get it out. Knights keep it in. And then, now we're going to get a cross-check. Cross-checking call, and I believe it's on Gabe Ulrich. So Ulrich will go to the box, so that'll nullify the man advantage for the Knights. They'll skate 4 aside here for the next minute 43, and then a brief 17-second power play for the Stars. Face-off inside Knights territory. Be Martini for the Stars, going up against Tommy Clanton, one of the goal scorers for the Knights. Clanton and Mangelsdorf with the goals. Here's Clanton. Clanton fanned on that shot attempt. Stars will pick it up, throw it over to the far wall. Backhanded out to center. Looking for a call there was Martini, none forthcoming. And now here's Clanton. 1-on-2 for Clanton. He'll just fire it down low, bounces over to the far wall, hoping a player in a black jersey gets there first, and they did. And a shot from Mangelsdorf. Oh, puck is loose. Big save made by Johnson. Or Goldwasser. Goldwasser that time just flipped it on that. He had the shot before, not Mangelsdorf. It was Goldwasser. And that was a nice save made by Johnson. And then on that second attempt by Goldwasser, just kind of flipped it on the net. And Johnson able to make the save. So 48 seconds remaining on the penalty to Lauru for the Stars. And then they'll have a 17-second power play. Far wall. Knights keep it in. Now the Stars gain possession, get it out to center. Unable to make a connection there with Burns. And the Knights put it back inside the zone. Deflected out to center. And skating back to retrieve the puck now will be Isaiah Bernstein. He has possession. Bernstein being hassled from behind, and now they're going to get a hooking call against the Knights. So 9 seconds left. But Mangelsdorf's going to go to the box for hooking. And so it'll be a 4-on-3 for 9 seconds for the Stars, and then it'll be a 5-on-3 opportunity for 17 seconds. Face off to the left of Cole Grice. So good opportunity here for the Stars to at least cut their deficit in half, trailing 2-0 with 7:07 to go. Stars with possession. Flip over to the near wall. Now it's 5-on-4 hockey for the Stars. Cross ice pass intercepted. Lauru threw it on net, and making the save and holding on was Cole Grice. So that was a little delay in Lauru coming out of the box there as the penalty was over, but it took him a while to get inside the zone there. He'll remain on the ice. He gets it at the far point. Cross-ice pass, Konasek. Back to Lauru. Konasek between the circles, shot, save made. And now it's a 5-on-4 advantage. Cross-ice pass, shot, save made by Grice. And then it's shoveled out and cleared. So Grice making a handful of saves over there as the Knights ice the puck. Minute 21 remaining on the second penalty, the one to Mangelsdorf. So still power play time for the Knights as they got some good looks, some good offensive opportunities. They weren't high velocity shots, and Grice was able to make the saves, but nonetheless they were on net. Put puck on net, good things can happen. It's usually the strategy, especially on a power play. Here come the Stars, shooting, save made, Grice, and then the puck is loose. The Knights momentarily weren't able to gain possession, but that time they did and throw it down. And that'll be another icing call. Now a minute 1 remaining on the Stars power play for the hooking call to Augustus Mangelsdorf. Face off to the right of Cole Grice. Stars take possession. Lauru over to Konasek. Along the near boards, between the circles. Now Lauru comes down and scores! Lauru fires as he came down from the far point and put it between Grice. And the Stars able to cut their deficit in half. They trail 2-1 with Lauru getting the power play goal. So Lauru with the third goal of the second period, first for the Stars. And that one coming on the power play. 2-1 is your score with 5:58 to go here in the second period. So indeed, the Stars were able to take advantage of the man advantage opportunity and get the equalizer. That was a nice play by the Stars, a little give and go as Lauru gave it to Konasek and then went straight towards the net. And he got the cross-ice pass and put it between the wickets of Grice. Here come the Stars the other way. Up ice they go. Here's Shaw. Losing the handle. The Knights will put it out to center. Well, Lauru gathers it up. Knights have it. Goldwasser trying to push that one ahead to Chen, but Lauru was there first for the Stars. Stars, Torch. And push from behind. No call there. He went down kind of after the fact there. That was Rocco Torch. That's a great name. That's one of our better hockey names, I'd have to say, since Aaron and I have been calling these games. Rocco Torch. Grade A hockey name. Here's Todd Clanton with one of the two goals for the Knights. He'll chase it in the far corner, backhands it. Then it's deflected up ice. And firing that puck was Localo, Jack Localo, kept in on net, and a casual save made there by Cole Grice, and he'll hold on with 4:16 to go here in period number 2. 2-1 lead for the Knights, but the Stars coming on. They gained some momentum after that power play and actually have been able to put some pressure on Grice at even strength. So game of hockey, always the ebb and flow. And getting that power play definitely shifted momentum. They were able to get one goal. They had a brief 17-second two-man advantage, but were able to get a power play goal on a 5-on-4. And they've had some pressure since then. Another attempt, pass from behind the net. That one went wide from Martini. Now the Knights inside the zone, firing. Oh, that one I think was off the shaft of the stick of Johnson. Oh, remember that save there. Another one he fights off, and that one goes up into the netting, out of play. So we'll have a face-off inside the Star zone. But, yeah, that shot attempt Grant Johnson, I believe that one went off the shaft of his stick and then went over to the far corner. Big time save. Herwick will take the draw for the Knights. It'll be Burns for the Stars. Stars and Burns win the draw. It'll go over to the far wall where it's shoveled out to the neutral zone. Then it's brought back in, but off sides. So we'll have a neutral zone draw as we're down to 3:35 to go in period 2. 2-1 lead for St. Louis. We got the game's first 2 goals in the first half of this second period, but then the Stars were able to get a power play goal, and they've been putting on pressure since, although the Knights had a couple grade A chances at the other end as Burns dumps it in for the Stars. Inside his own zone is Owen Acree. Now it's out to center. Back inside the zone, Acree will throw it over to the near wall. And a bounce pass there. And that's fielded by Lorenzen. He'll dump it down low. He's kind of hoping Herwick could get there, Clayton Herwick. Stars trying to get the puck outside the zone. 2:46 to go. Harwick behind the net. Battling there, but then the reach of Bernstein was able to get the puck over to the far wall, and then the Stars throw it out to center. Centering. That one misses Herwick. Ulrich with a shot. That one deflects into the netting over in the far corner. Good shot there by Gabe Ulrich, but does not get on that and deflects into the corner in the netting. Shots now 23-15 in favor of St. Louis. Face off to the left of Grant Johnson. Knights have possession. Oh, how did that one get in? It went off the back of Grant Johnson. What a shot. That was John Stanzi. From a tough angle, he just threw it off the back of Johnson and into the net. And the Knights get that goal back, and they go up 3-1. What a couple tough angle goals here for the Knights, but they've been opportunistic. They regain their 2-goal advantage, 3-1, St. Louis. Well, that'll be on the highlight reels that Aaron crops up. Shot, that one sails over the glove of Grice. He's going to cut up the highlight anyways, but that one is definitely highlight worthy for the degree of difficulty. That's a good learning point for goaltenders. You got to protect that near post wherever that puck is. And if you leave any gap there, you have some offensive players who are a little crafty with the puck. And that time, Stanzi was able to fire it off the back of Grant Johnson and into the net, giving the Knights the 3-1 lead. Minute 20 remaining here in period 2. So now if you're the Stars, you have to respond here. You can't let that be deflating. There's still a lot of hockey to be played here, a full third period. Sterner inside the zone for the Stars. Trying to get it over to Lacallo. And then Shaw tries to flip it forward between the circles, but black jerseys in on the play. Klaus. Now Chen. Chen. Stick handles. Oh, and a big save made by Johnson on Chen. Chen thought he had Johnson down and out, but Johnson was able to make that save. Remember that one if the Stars do come back. That was a big-time save by Johnson. 30 seconds remaining here in period 2. Chen just shovel it ahead. That goes to Lauru. Out to center. Knights. Ulrich. And that's going to be offsides against St. Louis. 13.1 seconds remaining. We'll have a neutral zone draw along the far wall just outside the Star zone. Herweck going up against Burns of the Stars. Herweck shovels it ahead, puts it inside the zone, but then the Stars knock it out. Thrown over to the far wall, backhanded inside the zone. 4 seconds remaining. And the clock will run down here as we'll head to period 3. No goals in the first, 4 goals here in the second period. 3 by the Knights and 1 by the Stars, with Stanzi getting the highlight reel type goal to give the Knights the 3-1 lead. We'll take an audio break. This is Bantam Major Hockey on the Central States Game of the Week on Stream Sports Midwest. Back at the Glenview Community Ice Center here in Glenview, Illinois. Third period hockey about to come your way between the St. Louis Knights and the Glenview Stars. The host Glenview Stars here in a Bantam Major Central States game here on the Central States Game of the Week on Stream Sports Midwest. I'm Eric Willowhite. Knights with a shot right off the draw, and it comes out to center. Backtracking is Acree. Stars gain possession in the neutral zone. So again, we talked about there were no goals scored in that first period. 4 in the second, 3 by the visiting Knights, and then 1 by the Stars on the power play. The Stars had cut their deficit to 2-1 and had some momentum going, but then a tough angle goal by John Stanzi from along the goal line off the back of Grant Johnson in that second period regained the 2-goal lead for the Knights. And that's where we stand, 3-1. Shots are 25-15 in favor of the Knights. And we're in the final period here. Well, final regulation period. Puck over on the far wall. And we got a player down. We're going to get a penalty on the Stars, I believe. Going to the box is Grant Radel. It's a slash on Radel, so a power play time for the Knights. That's not what the Stars needed, to have to play a man down here for the next 2 minutes. And obviously, if you're the Knights, you're looking to add on the cliche 2-goal lead, the hardest lead in hockey. So the next goal, very important, if there is a next goal. Sometimes it just never will be. Face off to the right of Grant Johnson. Herwick and Sterner on the draw. And Herwick ejected, so going in will be Lorenzen. Lorenzen takes possession, backhands it over to the near wall. Near point, Acree. Acree can't keep it in, goes out to center. Then dumped into the Star zone. Johnson tips it over to the far wall, where it's played by Carter. Check that, that's Isaiah Bernstein. That one's thrown down, no icing. Puck deflected. Here's Lorenzen. Over skating that one was Acree. Then out to center, shorthanded opportunity. But that's quickly nullified as gaining possession of the puck there was Levinson. Out to center. Still at center. Levinson, cross ice pass. Gets it over to Klaus, and then it's dumped in by the Knights as they head for changes. 28 seconds on the power play for the Knights. Along the near boards to Martini, unable to possess it. Then it's dumped in. Mangelsdorf tried to get that one over to Stancy. Now it's taken by Laurek. Here's Mangelsdorf. Backhand attempt, and that's in! The penalty had expired, but another highlight reel goal there from John Stanzy, as he was able to backhand that one in and went right top shelf. And it's a 4-1 lead now for the Knights. Well, Stanzy, and again, the penalty had expired, so the teams were at full strength, but they're still, with the final seconds of the power play, they had the advantage, and Stanzy's able to backhand that one into the right top corner past Grant Johnson for a 4-1 lead. It'll go as an even strength goal, but nonetheless, that power play turned into an advantage for the Knights as they get that insurance goal, as it were, a 3-1 lead, 4-1. 3-goal lead, 4-1, with 11:16 to go here in the third. Out to center. That puck is thrown in by Alexander, but they're going to say short of center for icing. So the draw will come down inside Stars territory to the right of Grant Johnson. Knights starting their weekend in good fashion here with the 4-1 lead. Early morning game here in Glenview. That one fought off Johnson, and he was able to hang on. A couple shots on net, and then Johnson able to cover up that second attempt with traffic to his left. So faceoff will be to his left. 10:57 to go. Rung over to the near boards. Out to center. Kicked the tripod there. Did not experience an earthquake. Although it looks similar when my feet get in the way of a tripod. Face off in the neutral zone. I should say the tripod got in the way of my feet. How's that? That sounds better. Blame the immovable object that moved. Oh, that shot went wide off the stick of Henry Hafner. He had a good opportunity there. Then here's Hafner again, tried to tuck it between the wickets, and then he's pushed out of the crease. Stars looking to mount a comeback. Out to the neutral zone. Lauru. Now Hafner. Hafner, man, had a couple great chances. That one deflects off the glass at center ice. Cross ice pass Lauru. Taken by Alexander. He's inside the zone. He slows between the circles. Shovels it on net, but that went off the skates of Martini. Then coming in is Mangelsdorf. Mangelsdorf battling behind the net. Along the near wall. And we're going to get a penalty here. As we got a little fracas going on. Quickly broken up. And it looks like Stanzi will head to the box for the Knights. Well, he didn't give the signal afterwards. Might have been roughing. Usually that's the call du jour this season, we've seen. But either way, it's a power play for the Stars, and they could badly use a goal here. Martini. Over to Lauru, top of the near circle. Shot, never gets through. Then a centering attempt doesn't get to a Stars player, and Ulrich will come the other way for the Knights. Ulrich throws it on net, and having to make a save is Grant Johnson. So Ulrich with an end-to-end rush, able to put that puck on net. Minute 38 on the power play for the Stars. 9:11 to go in period number 3. 4-1 lead for the Knights. Lauru behind the net. Up to Localo. Now Martini. Martini inside the zone. Martini. Ulrich pushed the puck off his stick for a moment, and he's able to gather it back. He dumps it down low to Burns. Now over to Lauru, but then it deflects over to Mangelsdorf, and the Knights go the other way. Mangelsdorf tried to carry it through a couple defenders, unable to. Now Localo had it for a moment. Ulrich. Here's Burns. Burns will take it wide. Shoots between the circles. Going left, shooting right, but tracking that one all the way was Cole Grice, and he holds on for the faceoff. 55 seconds remaining on the Stars power play. 4-1 lead for the Knights with 8:29 to go here in period 3. 4-1 Knights. Play along the near wall. Lauru flips it on net right into the gut of Cole Grice, and he holds on to make a save. We'll do it again to the left of Cole Grice. Stars win the draw. Waldeck will dump it down low over to the far wall. And it's out to center, but we're going to get a penalty tripping call on the Stars, so that'll nullify the remaining 36 seconds on the power play. And going to the box is Konasek. Colin Konasek gets the tripping call, so be 4 skaters aside for the next 36 seconds, and then a man advantage for the Knights. 8:09 remaining in period 3. Be Clanton on the draw for the Knights. He wins the draw over to the far point. Kept in by Goldwasser. Flips it behind the net. Backhand by Clanton. Ooh, Johnson was out of the net for a moment. Got a little slippery there. Now we're going to have a penalty behind the net. That might be on Clanton. I think it is. There'll be a roughing call. Trying to see who it's on. I think it is Clanton. Yeah, it is Clanton. So Clanton going in the box for roughing. So now we'll have 4-on-3 for the next 22 seconds. for the Stars. Then it'll be even strength for a minute 25. Then a brief 13-second power play for the Stars after that. Shot save made by Grice. Puck is loose, but nothing but black jerseys there kept in. Here's Bernstein. Bernstein fires. Oh, and finding that one through traffic. There were 3 players around the cage. And doing a nice job of gloving that one was Cole Grice. 3 seconds on the 4-on-3, and then it'll be a even strength for the next minute 25. All right, now we're back to even strength. 4-on-4 hockey. Inside the Stars zone. Martini, he'll take it up ice. It's a 1-on-3. And then in ahead of the play was Henry Hafner as Martini went left to right, and Hafner was trying to time zone entry, and he wasn't able to time it right. Neutral zone draw, Martini and Alexander for the Knights. Alexander wins the draw. Now Gabe Ulrich. Ulrich between the circles. He flips it out to center. Lauru shoots it on net. Pad save made by Grice. Lauru picks up his own rebound. Throws it out to Martini. Fires a shot. Stick save made by Grice. Now Ulrich. He'll just skate it up into the neutral zone to Lorenzen. Lorenzen 1-on-4. He'll just stick handle some time off the clock. Then he's able to dump it down low, trying to feed it to Alexander. Check that Clayton Herwick. I don't know where I got Alexander. That's wrong team. Herwick. Here's Lauru for the Stars. 11 seconds on the power play for Glenview. Lauru. Shoveled down low, save made by Grice. Then it's thrown out to center. Both teams back to even strength with 5:51 to go. Here in period 3, 4-1 lead for the Knights. Mangelsdorf looking for his second tally. Kind of tried to shovel that one on net after the draw. Stars get it out to center. Here's Isaiah Bernstein. Carries the mail over the blue line. Centering attempt. That gets deflected back to Bernstein. And he tries to center it between the circles. But the Stars weren't able to get anything on net. Knights go the other way. And in ahead of the play were the Knights, so I'll have to do it again as Shapiro brought that one in, but the Knights were in ahead of the play. Shots on goal have narrowed. It's 27-23 in favor of the Knights, but on the big board, it's a 4-1 lead for St. Louis. As we're getting ready to tick under the 5-minute mark here in period 3. Out to center. Here's Konasek. Konasek. That one's blockered aside by Grice. Now Chen. 4-player battle in that near corner. Stars keep it in. Going the other way with it is Brendan O'Reilly. And now we're going to get another penalty. We're going to get a hook. Oh, it's a hooking call on Glenview, I believe. And it's going to go against Reed Sterner. So Sterner gets the hooking call. So power play time for the Knights with a 4-1 lead and 4:33 to go here in period number 3. Now there's a discussion over at the Glenview bench between the official and the coach in regards to the penalty on Sterner. Now that conversation's over. We'll get ready for the draw. Stars win possession. They'll push it ahead into the neutral zone. Stick handling and dumping it inside the zone was Parker Waldeck. Out to center, Konasek will dump it back in. And that's going to have to be played by Brendan O'Reilly and the Knights. Now carrying the puck forward is Levinson, Eric Levinson. Levinson fires, that goes wide. That puck escaped Acree at the near point, goes all the way down, and Grice had to play it. Now Lorenzen along the near wall, shovels it ahead. Here's Herwick. Herwick. Shot hits the skates of Konasek and goes over to the far wall. That's played by Herwick. He comes off the boards. Now O'Reilly. Here's Lorenzen, top of the near circle, save made by Johnson. O'Reilly tries to keep it in. He does, but then he loses the handle to Waldeck. But then O'Reilly poke checks the puck off of Waldeck. Waldeck still doing a nice job battling in there, and then he dumps it down low as he heads for a change. 27 seconds on the power play for St. Louis. 4-1 lead for the Knights with 2:55 remaining here in period 3. And we get a whistle. And we're going to get a penalty on St. Louis. Oh, no, we get 2 penalties, 1 on each side. It'll be coincidental roughing penalties. So for the Stars, that's going to be Carter Sue. And for the Knights, you don't have the player up there yet. I didn't get a chance to see who that was. Well, there is a penalty. Actually, there's 2 players in the box for the Knights. I didn't see that. As Johnson able to make the save. There's 2 players in the penalty box for the Knights. Nothing on the board. It's a 5-on-4 advantage for the Knights as that one's deflected into the netting in the far corner. So it's a minute 35 power play for the Knights. There must have been a major given out there to the Knights with 2 players in the box, but no penalty on the board. Knights will dump it down low. Stars unable to gather possession. The puck is loose, but we're going to have a tripping call. And a little words there in the far corner. As Ocalo didn't like what had taken place there, and heading to the box is Mangelsdorf. And it's a tripping call. So that'll nullify the Knights' man advantage. Each team will be 4 skaters aside for the next minute 15 with 2:09 remaining in the game, 4-1 lead for St. Louis. Face off to the right of Cole Grice. Stars win possession. Johnson comes out of his net over to our left, so an extra man on for the Stars. Empty net to our left. Konasek fires. Deflection attempt by Burns, unable to connect. Konasek between the circles. Back to Kano. He fans on it. Did Hafner. And then the puck is thrown on net. Grice is able to make the save. O'Callo went down grabbing his cage there, but the referee's having a conversation. Nothing coming from that. So again, 43 seconds of even strength hockey, 4-on-4. And a brief power play for the Stars with their net empty. And that puck thrown down, that's going to be an icing call against the Knights. There's the empty net for the Stars as they try and cash in 3 goals in the next minute and a half. Stranger things have happened. It's going to take a Herculean effort here by Glenview to get the equalizer. First things first, they have to get goal number 2. A offensive zone draw. Possession taken by the Knights. They'll throw it out to center. Lauru. He'll carry it in. Stick handles. Lauru, cross ice pass. Finds Burns. Back to Lauru. Over to the far point. Shot save made by Grice. Puck is loose. And getting to that puck first was Cooper Bates for the Knights. Then the puck comes out to center. Stars penalty is over. And a 42-second power play remaining for Glenview here with their net empty. 6-on-4 advantage, but it's kept in by the Knights, and that one deflects wide. Good job here by St. Louis to keep the puck inside the Star zone. And now it's out to center. And that's going to be an offsides call as 2 white jerseys in ahead of the play of Hafner. So that puck will come back out to center. 33 seconds remaining in the game. Third period. 24 seconds on the power play for Glenview. We'll have a neutral zone faceoff along the far boards just outside St. Louis zone. Empty net chance. That goes wide, and that'll be an icing call against Chen and the Knights. Everyone wants to get that empty net tally. I think with a 4-1 lead and only 28 ticks on the clock, I guess that's okay. But if it's a 1-goal lead, you don't want to be doing that. You don't want to cause an offensive zone draw for the other team when they're trying to get the equalizer. But a 4-1 lead is something a little different. Another attempt to clear the zone and get it into the empty net fails. 6 seconds on the Glenview power play and 15.4 seconds remaining in period 3. And barring something miraculous, the Knights will get the early morning victory here against the Stars and get up to 27 points as they try and track down the Sabres here in the Bantam Major Division. Net is still empty to our left. 6-on-4 hockey for Glenview. Bernstein throws it towards the net. That goes wide. Centering attempt. And then trying to stuff it. And a little play from behind, but cooler heads prevail. So now it's 6-on-5 hockey as the penalty to the Knights expired. There's only 3.1 ticks on the clock. The referee's trying to cool things down here over the final seconds. Just want to get this draw and get it over with, as tempers have been flaring up over the final minutes of this game. I know the Stars frustrated. They weren't able to put together a better effort. Hopefully both teams will just keep it clean here over the final 3.1 seconds and have the horn. But no, they absolutely did not. As Lorenzen decided he wanted to play WWE there, and he's ticketed to go to the box. Oh, they actually weren't going to call the penalty. They just let the clock tick down. I think that's probably the best call, is just end the game. But yeah, you're hoping they get through the final 3.1 seconds without incident, but unfortunately that didn't happen there. But that's all right. Game is over. And the Knights win an early morning road game here in Glenview by the score of 4-1 here in this Central States Bantam Major game here on the Central States Game of the Week on Stream Sports Midwest. So that'll do it here from Glenview. Reminder, we got a pair of games tomorrow on Stream Sports Midwest. We will be back here at Glenview at 9:50 a.m., another Bantam matchup. This one will be between the Falcons, Highland Park, versus the Stars, Bantam Prospects Division. I'll be back here along with Mike Napolitano on the call. 9:50 start. That's over on Rink B. And then at 11:30, Aaron and Brandon will have the call in Joliet at Inwood Ice Arena, where St. Jude Pee-wee will take on Jaguars Pee-wee in a Prospects Blue Tier 2 matchup, 11:30 a.m. tomorrow in Joliet. Final score again from Glenview. In Bantam Major, the Knights 4 and the Stars 1. This is Eric Willowhite for Stream Sports Midwest saying so long for now on the Central States Game of the Week.